Now, for more on Greece's current crisis, we're joined by Randolph. He is head of sovereign risk at IHS Global Insight in London. Thank you so much for joining us once again, Jan. We appreciate it. Good morning to you. Now, there was a round of new concern about Greece this week. We saw the spreads between Greek debt and, say, the German bond blow up. What has changed fundamentally this week?
Well, it is interesting. I think we have to be careful. We've got the primary markets where Greece successfully issued bonds more than three times oversubscribed. And then we've got the secondary markets where these bonds are sold in different markets. And as you say, there is a clear country risk premium, as you say, a higher yield on tradable Greek debt. Now, these secondary markets are influenced by different things. I mean, there are hedge funds there. There are other players there wanting to short the bond, and that doesn't exist in the primary market. I think we also have to be careful about these CDS spreads, these CDS insurance against default. You know, they're not necessarily a direct reflection on creditworthiness. That is the credit rating itself. But a lot of banks will buy and sell these credit default swaps as a way of managing their country dollar exposures. So there are different motives here other than a direct reflection of default risk. Having said that, Greece does have, by a lot of measures, debt metrics, a credibility issue. And it needs to take concrete measures to restore credibility. As long as it makes moves in the right direction, and it's just like an IMF program, as long as it takes concrete moves in the right direction, has clear audit from Eurostat and European Commission body, then it will be supported ultimately with a backstop from the European Central Bank.
You mentioned the primary market for Greek debt. There were reports that Greece, or a bank acting on behalf of Greece, was trying to get China to come in and buy some of that Greek debt. Talk about this interplay between Greece and China and why that's important.
Well, it is interesting that in stress situations, there's no doubt the stress is always about refinancing. Same with Dubai, now with Greece. You know, whenever there's stress situations, there's a lot of speculation. Speculation goes up when there's a stress situation. I don't know what the real situation is. What we do know, though, in the bond markets, and this is true for the US, UK, Germany, Greece, Portugal, the big investors there include the Chinese. So they're already buying. The idea of China coming separately to assist Greece, I don't think the Europeans would like that idea, that they can't cope and manage the situation themselves, which they ultimately can, I think.
Okay, Jan, finally, one quick question here. Will Greece default?
The short answer, no. I think ultimately, as long as they take steps in the right direction, they will be ultimately supported by the ECB. The ECB has already done that with a few European countries, and it will certainly do so for the Eurozone country like Greece. But Greece has to make steps in the right direction, and it will be supported as long as it does that.
Okay, we thank you for your time. I've been speaking with Jan Randolph, the head of sovereign risk over at IHS Global Insight in London.